Hello, hello. We hope you have an excellent day. Today in our place, we have a long and very interesting talk in which we'll get to know the Hawaiian island and their cultures as well as part of their origin. The Hawaiian people whose ancestors crossed the ocean from Polynesia, developing their own society, but their cultural ties of Polynesia are evident. The religious and social structure revolved around the taboo that established prohibited or restrict rules for Hawaii's tribal society parties and legends and tradition through songs, dance, poetry, and storytelling. Before and after World War II, Hawaii residents applied for stated status. Before and after World War II, Hawaii residents applied for stated status.
We well know that the island of Hawaii is distinguished for being a multi-ethnic and multicultural society. For example, in its traditions and Polynesian temples is united with the American traditions. An interesting fact is that in Hawaii two languages are spoken, English and Hawaiian, but most of the inhabitants do not speak the Hawaiian language, but I am impressed by the fact that their roots are truly clear and they leave their mark year after year, as the Aloha Festival that has been held since 1946 with the intention of helping the people of Hawaii recover their national identity after World War II. Since then, the inhabitants prepare with enthusiasm the festivals of each year. The Aloha festivals are held in September and are considered one of the most important events on the island of Oahu. In this festival, you can appreciate the concerts, activities, and parades related to the Hawaiian culture.
Oh my god, it is incredible that the Hawaiians do not fully speak the native language, and we realize that in this area the culture is not quite present, but in the festivities it's very clear that they are proudly Hawaiians and follow their tradition. Also, for example, with Prince Kuyu's Day, it is a holiday dedicated to royalty and is held on March 26th, commemorating the anniversary of the prince, who was responsible for defending the rights of native Hawaiian families by serving in the U.S. Congress and ensuring that they could have power of their islands. And as usual, there are different activities such as canoe competitions, delicious typical banquets, and of course, there is a lot of hula dancing. This one should do not be missed.
The hula dance is very traditional and even has its own celebration. And is the Hula Festival is a traditional Ilo celebration that is dedicated to the last king of Hawaii, David Kalakaua. This festival presents exhibitions and competitions from different hula schools and the crowning of the hula queen. This dance is so representative that it's present in other traditions, such as the luau, is the best known Hawaiian celebration abroad. It's a traditional celebration in which you must wear the flower necklaces and dance the hula dance. Also, as we can observe, another representative tradition of the Hawaiian people is to wear flower necklaces so much that there is a celebration in their honor, which is late day, is the day of the flower necklace, and is celebrated the first week of May. The necklaces are valued for the culture and the image of the island. Besides, and the parades and dances are organized. In the dance, it's a tradition that the children make Hawaiian representations.
Wow, I believe that every tradition is present in every celebration. I am very impressed because there is another party that is celebrated on June 11. There are many islands of the world celebrate the life of Kamehameha the Great, who was the first monarch of Hawaii that became famous for the being in the universe of the island, the responsible for the union of the states in 1810. On the great day, people dance, sing, practice the hula, and usually decorate the story of Kamehameha with beautiful long lake necklaces and delicious typical saucers.
And to continue marveling the paradise that the Hawaii Islands have hidden, we cannot fail to talk about food, and for this we have an expert in this topic. And welcome, Chef Evelyn Maya. Come in.
Thank you very much, my dear. I will gladly guide you a brief explanation and some typical dishes to taste and that undoubtedly leave the tourist amazed and eager to return. I will let you know a little more about the flavors of this island. The Hawaiian gastronomy has a great variety of flavors and traditions. Thanks to advance of the fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as the cattle farms in high and fertile lands, and the waters of the Pacific Ocean, which are you full of fish. In 1881, the regional Hawaiian gastronomy was established. It takes advantage of the freshest ingredients of the island. Some like dishes are lomi lomi. It is made of salmon roasted over a very low hot that is accompanied by crushed tomatoes and onions. It is also very common to poke. It consists of raw marinated accompanied by sesame and seaweed. In the main dishes, we have the Kalbi ribs. It consists of a hot dish composite of pork ribs cooked with sauce and sesame and, and kalua pig. It is composite by pieces of pork made wrapped with banana leaves and coconut. To finish with a sweet taste, we can enjoy the exquisite dessert pineapple. This fruit is legally consumed by tourists from Hawaii. Another dessert is malasadas. They are spongy breads filled with cream and chocolate, excellent with a cup of coffee. Those are the main dishes of Hawaii. So do not hesitate to visit these beautiful islands and taste the flavors they offer. Well, this has been it from me. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I hope you will visit us very soon.
Well, thank you very much, Evelyn. What delicious saucers you mentioned use? Well, besides the gastronomy, I believe that tourism and landscapes are closely related to the economy in Hawaii. Will it not secret that Hawaii is a beautiful place? Would it's also no secret that Hawaii has a large economy and come caused by tourism? And the truth is that I think that these issues alone with the issue of education are very important because they are also part of this beautiful place. I dare say that the sun, the beach, the hotels, agriculture, fruit and sugar plantation, and tourism are the main economy engines of these islands.
This is a Hawaii is a wonderful place to go to study since it's a Pacific and has diverse natural settings. So if you consider yourself a love of natural and want to focus your study on this area of science, Hawaii seems like a promising destination for you. At the same time, it's a perfect place to put into practice to knowledge of the hotel industry, tourism, and everything since KR area with high demand for the visit of foreign.
It is interesting, this topic that you mentioned. What else can you tell about this?
A fun factor about education in Hawaii is that it is currently the only state in the Union with a UNICEF state education system. Therefore, it has independent, has private institutions, class are therefore small, currently of less than 20 students, and there are also opportunities for individual or private classes.
Well, and now that you mentioned private schools, I was very surprised to see that life for people in Hawaii is very expensive. And autism demonstrates the great economy of Hawaii. To have an idea of how much income Hawaii can have, since there is no precise information, we can obtain the budget of some of these islands in lodgings, food and rent of cars. With gasoline, we can spend 994 dollars. This is in the beach on Oahu, but in the island of Maui, we can spend more dollars and stay with like more islands where the budget is great. But it is amazing how many tourists Hawaii receivers and what is one team spends. But here I speak to you of a tourist trip. I wanted to live there. I work with to buy a house, a school, a car, and all the extra expenses.
It's very expensive, but on the subject of education, it is very nice because the lessons that are not given in the classroom with means that I can study English with basic around you, learning in the native Island style.
Besides all the beautiful places we have in Hawaii, like the Magic Sands, the rainforests, the volcanoes national park, and many places and islands that are what attract the tourists. But you mentioned you sometimes disturbing and exciting like the education in Hawaii. What else could you tell us about it?
One thing that is very interesting is that since the arrival of the missionaries in 1820, education has developed rapidly in education in Hawaii from kindergarten to college. The education has developed rapidly in Hawaii in education. In 2000, 84.6% of aged 25 and older had completed high school, and 6.2% had completed 4 or more years of college. The Hawaii State Department of Education is the only state-run public education system in the United States. The school district can be considered analogous to a school district in other cities. The communicating in United States, but in some way it can also be considered analogous to a state education agency in other states. Did you know that that's the official state education agency? The Hawaii State Department of Education oversees the public 2018 public school and charter school and more than 13,000 teachers in the state of Hawaii, serving approximately 185,000 students annually. In its fact, in addition, the Hawaii Department of Education recommended that public schools in the state stop using a distance education program that, according to parents, had risen and setting contents. So we can offer thousands for wonders to study and fall in love ever more with the Pacific place.
Truly, Hawaii is a wonderful place to which we much go to enjoy a rich vacation, and so we hope that this information that has been to your liking and you have enjoyed it, and as much as has been saying goodbye and until the next time. Goodbye.